Here goes. Come on, baby, get up there. Big finish. 600. Oh!
Hold it. This is Brian Christopher of Brian Christopher Slots. With over 200,000 subscribers, his channel is one of the most influential and popular slot channels on YouTube. And he's just won his first ever $10,000 jackpot while streaming live on YouTube. We caught up with Brian recently to learn more about the man behind one of the most entertaining and successful slot channels on YouTube. Okay, folks, we are here with Brian Christopher of Brian Christopher Slots. We've got a few questions here we want to ask him. And to start off, Brian, thank you so much for letting us be here and chat with you.
My absolute pleasure. You have a great channel, so
thank
happy
you.
to be here.
Tell us about your background and what led up to you creating your channel, Brian Christopher Slots.
Right. Well, I'm from Canada originally, and I was an actor my whole life, and moved to Los Angeles to further my acting career. And so I always had this channel called, I think it was just called Brian Christopher. And I used to upload my acting videos on there.
Right.
And so I had it for maybe 3-4 years, I don't remember the year it came out, but maybe 4 years before I started putting slot videos on it. And the only reason I put slot videos on it was for fun at the very beginning. I had gone to Vegas for the first time, and I wanted to share my filming with everybody because I saw other people doing it as well, and I thought it'd be kind of fun. So I put them up online, and when they took off, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And I didn't change my name of my channel for the first year and a half or 2 years even. I just left it as Brian Christopher the whole time, and here we are now 3 years later.
Now, when you started your videos, did you put your face in the videos at the beginning, or was it just slot play only?
I don't think I was in it the first, maybe the first dozen or so. I don't think I was in it, but I think I had. I don't even remember because I never had there was no thought process at the beginning. It was just like, let's just have some fun, right? And I don't think my face was in the beginning at all. I think it just came after I think it was after I decided that, hey, this is maybe a thing I can keep doing. You know, let's show my face off. I think that's probably what happened.
After your channel started taking off, did it bother you at first when people would recognize you and come up to you and want to meet you and take a picture while you're in the middle of recording? You know, I mean, I know it's different now, but did it bother you then? Was that kind of?
It's never bothered me. I'd say I'm more comfortable with it now. At the beginning, it was more like, why do you want to talk to me? Because it was, you know, it's weird. And I know my assistant Britt has gone through this now because. You know, she's like, I'm just Britt, and then now everyone like wants their photo with Britt now because she's like famous on YouTube. You know, yeah, they want her autographs, they want pictures with her and selfies and stuff, and so it takes some getting used to because it's so weird that, you know, because I haven't changed as Brian. I've always been Brian, and to my family and friends, I'm still Brian, and they look at me like, why are they treating you differently? You know. But yeah, if I'm in the middle of recording an actual video on my phone. I might just be like, you know, let me just finish this bonus or something. If I'm in a live stream, then just come say hi anytime. That's not a problem because the audience knows that's going to happen. Yeah. And I'm totally cool with that, for sure.
You have a catchphrase, and I want to know, where did your catchphrase, rude?
Rude. So rude.
And that's delicious come from?
That's delicious. That's delicious. So delicious.
Oh, man. Okay, so rude, I mean, There's many people that said that they started it first. I don't know what's true or what's not. One of them being one of my best friends from Canada. She's like, I used to say that all the time in high school. You stole it from me. And I'm like, I don't know. And literally, I just started saying it in my videos without knowing it. And people started referencing that to me, being like, oh, that's your word. And I was like, what?
In the comments?
And, yeah. And so I was like, okay, I got to look this back. And I literally went back to the very first video I uploaded and I said the word rude in it. I was like, oh, I did say it. And then I look at the next video. Oh, I said like 3 times in that video. I didn't even realize I was actually saying it. I think a lot of channels have their own words for it. I know, like Slot Lady, she says, "Oh, sour. That was sour." Mm-hmm. You know, it all means the same thing. It's just like, oh, that is really rude. Or that's horrible. And that's delicious. That's totally Marco.
Okay.
That's totally. He started saying, "Oh, that's delicious," and I was like, "What?" And then it caught on to me. That's totally his fault. That's him.
So now, with that, you have formed a fan club called the Rudis.
Yeah.
How did that get started?
I heard about this thing called Patreon, and I thought it might be a good thing for our community. Is to get everyone together. There were a lot of Facebook pages that were going around, and I wanted something for myself, but I wanted it to be very special and very contained and unique and very positive. That's my biggest message for my channel, is keep it positive. And so I decided to start this thing. And as far as the name itself goes, that was chosen by them. I posted it on my Facebook page saying, you got to come up with a name.
Right.
Write any suggestions you have down below. And I saw Rudi's. I was like, oh, that's a good one. And I saw a few other ones that I thought were pretty cool. And then I put a poll up, and Rudi's won on the poll.
Cool.
Yeah.
When did you do your first Rudi's fan cruise?
Let me see. So this year I did one in February. So it was last February. So 2018 in February or March.
So you've done 2 of them.
I've done 2, and we have our 3rd one coming out in February again.
Very cool. And where are you going?
We're going to Haiti, which I'm super excited about. There's the Caribbean and Mexico.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Very
And this is like, so the first year we did I think it was a 3 or 4 night cruise, and I love to get feedback. So I sent out like a questionnaire for everyone, and they all had ideas for making it better or what worked well, and they all wanted longer. So my second cruise I did a 5-night cruise, and they all said we want it longer again. I'm like, oh god, it's very draining. But I said okay, so we're doing a 7-night cruise this time.
Oh my goodness. Now I have to ask about group pulls. What do you like most about them, and what has been your biggest win with your group pulls?
I love it because it gets people really excited. And the most fun part about it is a lot of my fans, they don't have a big gambling budget, right? So they're used to betting 50 cents, $1 a spin. And this is the one opportunity that they could put in $100 or $200 and bet $25 or $50 a spin, while knowing they're not going to lose their whole bankroll on it, right? And so everyone gets like 10 spins at this or something, so it's super exciting for them. It's also fun for them to gamble with me as well.
Yeah.
So that's the most exciting part about it, I think, for them. We just had our biggest one. We were playing not Money Rain, not Money Storing, Cash Money Deluxe. We hit the major on the machine for 6,500, I think it was.
That's awesome.
I know, it's pretty exciting.
I'm still waiting for my first hand pay, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's coming.
So now, how has your popularity changed the way you play slots?
I've definitely opened my range of bets. Unfortunately or fortunately, it encourages me to try new things and bet higher. So I mean, I've always been a max bettor. Like even from my first few videos, I always would bet max on games. It would be like $3.50 or $5 a bet. And then I started on Cleopatra 2 at a $9 bet, and I was freaking out, and I hit one of my biggest jackpots of all time on that machine.
Last spin, everything is times 36. Match it. 252. Okay. I just made over $7,000 on a $9 bet on Cleopatra 2.
And so then that opened it up to more. I'm like, oh, maybe I should try this $100 machine now.
Right.
Now I should, that's probably the biggest change.
Well, that actually leads up to my next question. What is your biggest overall win?
Biggest overall win is just over $11,000. It was on triple, what is it called? Strike? Triple Red Hot Strike? Triple something. It was in the high limit room at Cosmopolitan. And I was just spinning $10 a spin. And I had dinner plans, and then I landed one of the biggest things, the second biggest jackpot on that machine. And then I've had a couple $10,000 ones as well.
And the first one was that live one that you hit, and
that's right.
At
Seneca. Yeah.
Seneca, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was live. That night I could not lose. It was ridiculous. I think I sat down at the machine. We were already up $2,000 or $3,000 after winning. I had a couple losing machines, obviously, but it was incredible. And then finally got the wheel span at $25 a spin, or $50 a spin. It was a $25 denomination, and hit the 10,000. Yeah.
So now, in an effort to keep things real, what is your biggest loss that you've had?
Oh shoot. It's probably like putting $1,000 into a machine at once and just playing it down to nothing. Yeah. I've tried to make a few really fun videos for you guys, where it's like, all right guys, we're going all out. Here's $1,000 into $50 a spin, and then losing it all. Yeah. And then, okay, let's go to Cleopatra. Here's $1,000 in, let's do, and we lose it all. You know? Yeah.
How many days a week are you on the road visiting casinos, getting content?
Oh boy. I literally used to go to the casino once a week, and now it's, I guess probably on average is 2 or 3 times a week, because I do a lot of my filming all in clumps. So right now I'm in Vegas for 5 days, so I'm gonna do all my filming over 5 days, and I'll probably have enough videos for a couple weeks, you know. But I mean, I definitely do at least 1 live stream a week, and so for the live stream I'll go early in the day and film a week's worth of videos. So I definitely do. I do like my local casino is like once a week, and then outside of that, probably 2 trips a month, which is like over a weekend. So like what is that? 8 days a month usually.
From your home base, how far have you traveled to get content for your channel?
By car, like 3 hours, I guess. And then what's the furthest? I guess Mohegan Sun in Connecticut.
Now, you mentioned you are in the office more often. When did you decide you needed to have an assistant in an office? At what point in the growth of your channel did you decide that needed to happen?
Yeah, there's been many points in my 3 years where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna burn out. And so I think it was at the 1 year mark I hired an editor to start editing my videos, because putting out daily videos and editing it all and responding to all the comments and everything was a lot of work. And those channels that are able to do that on their own, I'm like, you guys are awesome, you're amazing. And then after a little bit longer, I'm like, I need to hire someone to help me with, you know, reaching out to casinos or whatever. And it got to the point where I couldn't function anymore. So I needed help with like social media and everything else. So every time I'm at the point where I'm like, I have no time in the day to eat, then I'm like, I need to hire someone. And my latest addition is Britt, and she's my executive assistant, who's amazing. She's basically an extension of myself, and she basically knows what needs to be done before I have to tell her to do, which is exactly what I need. Awesome. And she cracks that whip on me too. When I hired Britt, we were gonna work out of my home office, and I think it was Marco that really pushed me. It's like, you know, it's time you get an office space. And it was so smart for me to do that, because otherwise you eat, sleep, work all in the same place, and it's just too much.
What do you feel is the biggest contributor to your channel's success?
I think it's probably just being me. You know, if that doesn't sound too conceited. That's why I subscribed. It's a lot of times people will meet me in person and they're like, wow, you're just exactly the same person in real life. And I'm like, well, that's because I'm not putting on a show. Like, it is me on camera. Yes, I'm going to be like a little more bubbly and excited. Actually, no, the excited part is totally real. I freak out if I win $5 still. But I think it's like, you know, whenever I film intros and I film this and that, and I flub a line or I say something stupid, I'm like, I'm keeping it, because that's real. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm not looking to, you know, read lines of text. You know, it's natural. It's me. We're having fun together, and I want people to feel like we are friends and that, you know, we're on the same level as each other.
Now, what is your favorite part about BC Slots? What is it that keeps you doing what you do?
I think it's become less about me and more about everyone else. That's what I like the most about it. It's the community that we've grown together. Oh, here it comes. I'm gonna cry. Okay, not gonna cry. It's like I get these messages from people, and I met one of them yesterday, which is why I'm thinking about it right now. Who, I'm a very emotional guy.
Okay.
She just told me she has lupus and was having a rough go, and she wanted to thank me so much for like what my channel did for her. And like, you don't think about that when you're playing slot machines. You don't think about the people, what they're going through in their lives, and how, you know, what I'm doing is making a difference in their everyday lives, you know? And it's completely for them. It's 100% for them. And I told Britt recently, I'm like, how can I ever stop this channel? You know, I don't want to let people down.
So now, if it wasn't for BC Slots, what would you be doing now?
I'd be a famous movie star. I mean, that was the reason. I moved to LA to pursue my acting career. Ever since I was 11, I proclaimed to my parents, I'm going to be an actor. And that's all I've been doing my whole life, was acting. And I was an actor in Toronto, and I wanted to build up my resume until I felt it was a good chunk on my resume that I could go to LA and take over LA. What I didn't realize is that when you move to LA, they look at your resume and they don't recognize any names on it because it's all Canadian content. They're like, yeah, you're nobody, you haven't done anything. And I'm like, I wish I knew that 10 years ago. I would have come 10 years earlier, you know. But I'd still be pursuing, I'd be auditioning, I'd be taking more acting classes and film courses, and probably producing more of my own content.
When did you first go to G2E, and what is it like now for you?
Right. Well, I first came 2 years ago. So my channel was about eight months old or so, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I showed up anyways. I did not know what to expect, and I just started going from place to place and introducing myself to everybody. And at that time, I had around 10,000 subscribers or something, so I thought I was like so cool. And I just recorded a bunch of slot play, and I was told you can't do that here, and so you know, I've grown a lot obviously since then, and now I've always got like scheduled meetings, and I have someone there with me so I can record and have permissions. But even still, I think it has changed a lot, because like I was talking with a gentleman today at Every slot manufacturer, and he said people were walking up and taking pictures and stuff, and he walked over to them to tell them, you're welcome to continue recording. You know, and that's such a change. You know, that never would have happened before, because I used to be like, I had security guys in front of me, like putting their hands in front of my camera, like, you can't do that here, can't do that here.
Yeah.
And now they, especially Every and other ones, they recognize the importance of sharing their information. It's called marketing, and it's called free marketing.
Because your channel is so big now and you have so much experience in it, what advice would you give to those who are wanting to start their own YouTube channel, whether it's slots or anything else?
Right. Well, I got asked that, and I still get asked that quite a lot from people that want to start a channel or are having a struggling channel. So I literally did a live stream for everyone where I answered every question. I told them every piece of information I could ever come out with, and I titled it "How to Create a Slots Channel." So if people want, they can always look up that one. But on this level, I would probably say the most important thing is be real. We're talking about like slots related for sure, or
any channel. I mean, literally, it can be any channel.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for sure, slots channels are extremely expensive. People don't realize how much money you have to lose in order to make videos, right?
Yeah.
And so, someone told me this at the very beginning was, you know, don't go to the casino just to make videos. If you're already going to be there, then make your videos. But if you're going there just to make your videos, you're going to spend a lot of money. You know, don't just do that $1,000 machine for a video. You know, have fun with it. So I'd say, yeah, be yourself, be honest and true about what you're playing and what you're doing, and be consistent. Be professional and consistent, because your audience wants to see it, and so does YouTube. YouTube will be nice to you if you do the exact same time every single week. If you do it every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then YouTube is going to expect it next Wednesday at 3. And so is your audience. So you got to train your audience as well when to expect new content from coming out. You don't have to go daily. That's ridiculous.
It's an awful lot of work.
It's a ridiculous amount of work.
Yeah, and that's why I only do one day a week myself.
Yeah, and as long as you keep consistent with it, then that's all you need to do for sure.
Well, Brian, those who are new to meeting you, how can they find your channel, social media, website, etc.?
Right, well, it's all right here, actually.
It's been there the whole time.
I know. Who knew? BCSlots.com is where you can go to check out my website. And then for social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat, it's just BC Slots. Yeah. Or if you're on YouTube, you can just do a search for Brian Christopher.
Very cool. Well, Brian, it's been a pleasure chatting with you and getting to know you and understanding about what makes Brian tick and why people like your channel so much. And I really appreciate the time that you've taken out of your busy schedule to sit down with us and allow us to create a spotlight on you and to help people understand what this is all about and why it's so dang cool.
Well, thank you so much, John. It's my pleasure. And everyone, make sure you subscribe to his channel right now. Click it, and like. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Hi, this is Brian Christopher from Brian Christopher Slots, and I'll see you inside the casino.